In the previous episode, we spent some time up here at the tree farm and we improved some of the tree farms we built in the previous episode. And then we added 2 structures to the lumber mill itself. One of the buildings we filled with contraptions to make us some stripped logs. And the other building is home to our storage system. And after we finished all the technical bits in this area, we went around decorating the area by sprucing up the floors, adding texture, and just surrounding this area with a bunch of trees to really make it feel like a lumber mill. In this episode, we need to do some preparation for a big project I've got planned, and we're going to do that by clearing out this area over here and connecting it to this area using none other than train tracks. But before we tackle this area and start clearing this area out and building our first station, I think we should maybe automate train tracks first. That way, while we build and do all the grindy bits, we can start processing a bunch of train tracks to make sure that when we do install our tracks, we have enough of those. And I think the best place to do that is to just add a temporary little contraption in this area where we'll take power from there, bring it all down, and we'll start producing tracks right here. So to make train tracks, we need a very specific contraption, and to see that contraption, we're going to click on tracks, and it's a sequence contraption where we put slabs through a sequence of poke, poke, press, and that will give us a train track. So what we're going to do is we're going to just start by adding a belt just to know where what goes, and on this side we know we're going to collect. So what I want to do is I want to rip out this, press on this side, and we do poke, poke. But because we're limited with space for power to go in, I think I'm going to rotate these. So we give them power from the side, and then we can make that power maybe come down over here somewhere and feed into that, and then somehow go back down into the belt as well. So to get it to go into the belt, we need to add another one of those over there, and I think we can rip out those. And then from here we can do a vertical gearbox over there, one over here, and maybe another over there. And then I think we can do a normal gearbox right over there with a vertical one sticking out over there. And then this one we can just connect directly to that. And I think we should do a clutch over here so we can turn this contraption on and off. And if we connect all of this down like this, and now we can see it's turning, but this is turning the wrong way, so we'll just rip that out and just add another gearbox over there. And now this is all flowing in the right direction. So we've got poke, poke, press, and we add funnels on top. And now on top of the funnels we can just do draws over there. We need to add a draw on the end and a draw near the start. And can we just do that? Is that done? Okay, let me grab some resources. Okay, so I loaded up the contraption. I had to remove the chute over here because we don't have to feed anything into the press. I added a little track over here to say that's the track. I filled those two up with nuggets and this one up with slabs. So if we flick this lever, will this create tracks? It will. It's not very fast, and I think we should see if we can speed this up with a rotational controller. Okay, I sped it up a bit some, and it's a lot faster. We're creating tracks a lot faster, which is a good sign, and this should give us about 256 tracks plus. So I think we can let this run and tackle the next project. So while we're busy making some tracks, the next area I want to tackle is this one over here. We need to get this area cleared up and get it ready for a station. It's not going to be a very big one. I just want it to be in an area where I can see it from the main workshop. So I'm going to get to some planning. So I went ahead and marked out the area where the station's going to be, and it's going to be on this area. So we've got a tunnel that will be coming in from that area, and we'll be going all the way around over here, and we have another tunnel on the side over here right there. So what we need to do now is just rip out some of these bushes, flatten out the area, and then we're ready to go. So while I'm across the river over there pretending to be flattening that area for a brand new train track, I thought I'll take the time and ask you all to subscribe. You see, out of all the viewers, only 14.5% of you are subscribed. So why don't you hit that subscribe button? Because then you'll never miss out on another episode. Come on, I know you want to. Click the button. And our platforms are complete, and we've got this lower platform over here and a slightly smaller one on top here. The one down here will have train tracks running on here with a station. One of the tracks will be a construction line, so we'll be able to build our trains here before we send them off to their destinations in the world. We also have a tunnel that leads in on that side. I have not decorated, and it comes out on the other side. And this area over here is where I think I'm gonna add a little workshop later on, and this workshop over here will only produce all the train mechanisms, all the train items we need, like tracks and train casings and stuff like that. So that will do on this little platform over here at some stage. And I made sure that if we go over here, that we'll be able to add a train over here, and I covered this entire area. So down there is a big lake that used to be open aired, now it's closed, and I cleaned up all of this. So this whole area is ready to receive its track that will run all the way to the mesa. The track maker also stopped working, and that's because we ran out of nuggets up here, but that's okay because we've got a total of 6,073 tracks. So I think this is enough to get started and to build our track. So I'm going to grab those and I'm going to just start laying track. So over here on the platform, I'm going to just place the first track, and the first one's going to be one away from there, and then there's the third. And if we go straight in line with that, I'm thinking we should do something right about there, which should be fine. It's a bit close to the edge, but I think that should be okay. We've got guests over there. So I'm just going to see if I can connect these and make the turns. Okay, so I moved it around a bit. This track's still in exactly the same spot, but this one I moved up 2 blocks, and then we still have a little bit of platform here in the center where we can do maybe some construction type stuff more, and then maybe a lot of like little platform where we have people waiting or whatever. And then I also made sure that this can go into this tunnel and make quite a nice turn. And I think now I should just go ahead and just connect all of this up and do the other side. And here we have all the tracks connected. We've got this track over here connecting this one and this one together, and then it splits into 2 directions. This one that will head to the mesa, and this one that will just go right back around to the other side, which I think is quite neat. Now the next part is we need to right click this, and we're going to connect it to over here, and then from here we're just going to connect it to this spot over here, and that we will change over to a bridge at a later stage. But now from here we can then just go all the way over to this area over here. Once we get to this point, just take the track all the way to the mesa. And just like that, we've managed to connect our rail system all the way from there, all the way over here, and it was a mission. It was a mission. We do have a few snags where we need to clean up the terrain, but that is a future me's problem. So let's head on back to the base area. Now that we have our train track ready, it's time for us to look at making trains. And to make trains and a lot of the components, we're going to need train casing. And for train casing, we need brass casing, and we need to cover it with a sturdy sheet. And a sturdy sheet is none other than obsidian powder or powdered obsidian with a squirt of lava on top of it and pressed 2 times. So I think down here again, we're going to do another temporary little farm, and we're just going to pull this over to here, I think, and then we can do another little track running like that to there, and we need to squirt the lava on, which then I think we should do right about here, and then we need to press and press, and that's how that's going to work. I do think, however, we're going to turn these around again, and we're just going to angle some power over here by doing this. So we've got that running like that, and then we can take this and run this across to about here, where we can just connect it with a gearbox. Now that automatically, if I flip this lever, overstresses the entire unit. Okay, so we're going to have to maybe tap into this power earlier, so let's see what we can do about that. Okay, so that should solve that problem. So I just moved over the clutch to that area, and I added a secondary clutch over there, and now we can just do this maybe like this, and that's turning the right way, which means all of this is perfect. Now we can just add a drawer over here because we need to accept those items, and then also we need to add maybe a drawer right about here because we need to send out the items. Let's move it up one. Let's do it over there. And then we can just do our 2 funnels, one for pulling out, one for putting in. And now we just need to connect this lava to a tank. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to place a cog right over there. We're going to add our lava tank right there. And then we can place our pump right over there with our pipes running from there over like this maybe. And now that should automatically pull the lava from there and put it into the spout. So I think I'm gonna get everything stocked up and then we can turn it on and see if it works. Okay, so I modified the system. I turned the pump around to directly face into the spout, and I just added an item drain in this area. So what I'll do is I'll chuck a bucket, and that should empty into the drain itself. And now if I am to throw powdered obsidian into here and we turn this on, this should start making sturdy sheets. And just like that, we automated sturdy sheets. It's not 100% automated because I still need to stand over here and chuck out lava buckets. And just like that, we finished it all, and we have a total of 64 sturdy plates, where it should be enough to get us ready to build our first train and maybe a few extra things. And I've gathered up a bunch of resources, and I think it's time we build our first train. It's not going to be a very big train, it's not going to be a very beautiful train, but it's going to be our first train, and I'm super excited about it. Okay, so first things first, the track here in front, I want to make the station track. So whenever a train comes by, it stops and we can see it from the base location. And then what I want to do is the track at the back, I want to turn this into my constructions. So whenever I build a new train, it will be built on this track over here. So right along this course dirt is where I think the platform should end. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to right click over here. And then for now, I think we should hide this station maybe in the wall. We can always change it. And I'm just going to place that right there. And that's going to be our little station point. And I will see to making a way to get into there a lot easier in the future. But for now, that's it. So, and what we're going to do is we're going to click create new train. And automatically that activates this area. And now that we're in assembly mode, we need to build this train. So what we do is we grab ourselves a train casing. We push Alt. And now we can see all the different styles. And we're going to do that like that. And right behind it, we're going to do the second one. And this is going to be the size of our actual train. And then over here, I want to go for a single railed one. And I think I'm going to do this one. And we're going to do there and more or less here maybe for our little wagon. Yeah, that's perfect. So that's the general idea for trains. So we've got the main steam engine in front and we've got this one at the back. So first thing I want to do is right above over here, I want to push a chute like that. And then into this, we'll connect 2 chutes like that. And over here, we're just going to do deep slate and deep slate. And we can use these frame blocks over there like that. And then we're going to add these over here and that. So that gives us that typical nose for a train that looks like a little scraper. Then I think we go girder, girder. And then I love the idea. I see a lot of people using these because it gives that round body shape. So I'm going to do one over there. And I think let's pull back maybe 3 more. And then let's add a frame over here. 1 frame over there. And then I think we can just do those in black deep slate, polished deep slate. And we can just bring this over like this. And I think maybe let's do another one over here like this. Also in the deep slate, trapdoors. And the trapdoors over here will just hide that wool, because if we put this on the wool, on the light gray wool, it actually creates light gray smoke. And then this one and this one also needs to be in the deep slate material. And we're going to turn this into brass, which I think looks so much better. Now we need to do the rest of the train. For the carriage part of this, we're going to do just something very plain and simple like this. And then to make sure we've got enough space in here, we can just do this, the same little trick we used on the elevator, because now this allows for a lot more movable space in here. I'm going to do the train seat over there, and we can just cover this with a carpet like that. Add a little controller so we can control the train, and then to finish it off, we're just going to do these in brass, and then these two we do in glass, so we actually have windows to look out. Every train needs doors, and then trains usually have these little weird thingies on them. And this is our little train, and it is the funniest looking thing ever. We do, however, need ladders so we can get in here. But not only is it funny, it is so freaking cute. I do think this is my favorite thing I've built in this world so far. It's just so cute looking. Ooh, I did make one of these. There we go. Yeah, that is fantastic. Okay, well, we've got a little starter train, and this will be the engine for our construction train. And I call it construction train because I would like to have a train with one wagon for now that will have storage on it, but maybe expand it so we have multiple wagons with different things. So whenever we have to travel to an area where we have a big project going, we can load up this train and then just take it there. So that's the big idea with all of this. So I think I should get working on that little wagon over there, and for that I think really quick build montage. And this is our complete train. It should be completely glued together and everything. It's completely built. But what we need to do now is right click on this and say assemble train. And we got it. We got it on the first try. We got it all ready. And this train's going to need a name. So I do not know what to call it. So I'm going to call it Thomas for now. But I'm going to ask you guys down in the comments. Let me know, what should we call our little construction train? Come up with something creative. You guys have been giving such cool names. And let me know. But apart from that, we need to now take this out for a test drive. So we're going to take it all the way to the Mesa. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on seat. Gonna click on control, gonna click on A5, and here we go. This is so cool. Can't see a thing there. But that will just continue straight over now. And now we're gonna just go all the way to the Mesa, where we'll put down our next station. And we made it to the Mesa. We currently have no station here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to temporarily put down a station, and let's just say right over there and right over here. So if we approach it and if we push space, it should park. And this is us in the Mesa at a station over here. I know it's not a lot going on right here, but in the future I hope to have something big in this area. Well, this will sadly have to be it for this week's episode. It's been a bit of a different episode with all the building and getting into trains. And I have to say, I think this might have been my favorite episode by far, because trains in Minecraft, they're so much better than minecarts, and I love them. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I do appreciate every single one of you. And if you haven't done so yet, click that like button. Do subscribe if you're not subscribed, and head down to the comments and give me a name for this majestic construction train. Till next time, bye for now.